Hi, this is Rohan from educator.ai. Let's dive in. A model that only speaks English is a chat toy. A model that speaks JSON is a component you can wire into software. In this video, we turn loose text into structured data your program can actually rely on. Say you ask a model to extract a customer's name and order total. It happily replies with a sentence. But your code doesn't want a sentence. It wants two fields. If you try to reject your way through free Prose, the next reply is phrased differently, and everything shatters. We need a contract. Think of it like giving the model a form instead of a blank page. A blank page invites an essay. A form with labeled boxes forces the answer into slots. Structured output is that form, same intelligence, but shaped so your program can read it field by field. The form itself is a schema, a precise description of what fields must exist and what type each one is. Name is a string, total is a number, items is a list. Once you write that down, anything that doesn't match the shape can be rejected automatically instead of quietly corrupting your data. The pipeline starts simply. In the prompt, we don't just ask a question, we describe the exact JSON shape we want back. Naming the fields in the request is the first nudge that turns Prose into data. But asking politely is not the same as guaranteeing, so this is only step 1. Here's the trap: what comes back is still a string, a blob of characters that merely looks like JSON. It might have a stray sentence in front, a trailing comma, or a missing brace. Until you parse it, you have text, not data. Treat this arrow with suspicion. So step 3 is to parse it defensively. Rep JSON.loads in a try except. If the string isn't valid JSON, you catch the error and decide what to do. Retry, repair, or fail loudly. Never assume the parse succeeds. Malformed output is a normal event, not a rare one. Parsing only proves it's JSON, not that it's the right JSON. The model might return total as the string, 12, or forget the name entirely. Step 4 validates the parse dictionary against your schema. Right fields, right types, required keys present. Only what passes becomes a trusted typed object. Zoom out, and here's the whole pipeline. Ask, receive text, then cross a trust boundary. Parse and validate must happen together as one gate. Nothing downstream touches the model's output until it has passed both. That boxed pair is the difference between a demo and a system. There's a stronger option than asking nicely. At each step, the model picks a next token from a probability distribution. Constrain decoding or grammar-guided generation masks out every token that would break the JSON grammar before sampling. The chatty, sure, here you go, tokens are simply forbidden. Structure becomes guaranteed, not hoped for. Constrain decoding gives you a string that is always parsable, a huge win. But note the limit: valid structure is not valid content. It can still emit a total of -1 or an out-of-range enum. So even with grammar mode, you validate values. Without it, you validate absolutely everything. Here's the whole gate in real Python. One clean reply, one with a chatty prefix that breaks parsing, and one where total is the word, lots. Notice the code never trusts the model. It parses inside try except, checks the field set, then checks the type. Each bad input is rejected with a clear reason, instead of poisoning the system. In production, you hand the schema to the API itself with a JSON schema response format. That's the model-side constraint decoding. 2 review points. The schema is explicit and required fields are listed, and temperature is 0 because extraction wants the most likely answer, not creative variety. Even here, you still JSON.loads and validate on your side. The classic mistake in a pull request: the model returns JSON, so we are done. But valid JSON can still have missing keys or wrong types, and it works in the demo precisely because breakage is rare, not absent. Without a schema check and a small eval set over many replies, that rare failure ships straight to production. So here's your review lens. On the left, a PR that trusts nothing, an explicit schema, parsing guarded by try except, values and ranges validated, temperature 0, and an eval over many replies. On the right, the red flags, assuming JSON is always valid, scraping fields with rejects, skipping type checks, and cranking temperature while testing one lucky case. Spot the right column and ask for changes. To recap, ask for JSON and then validate it against a schema. Constraint decoding can guarantee the structure, but never the content. Always parse defensively, because malformed output is a normal event. Get this right and the model stops being a chat box and becomes a real programmable component in your system.